So I haven't done this in a very long time, and that of course is just do a preview specifically only on the Friday game, because usually when I do previews of the Friday game, I basically include into the Saturday game and also into the Sunday game if I want to do one big preview, and that usually I do the preview on Friday, and those Friday games are kind of like short notice in terms of previewing those games that has happened on Friday. But I thought in terms of this week and look at the two Friday games that's going to be happening tomorrow, it's too big to just do it on a short notice. Like, we have one game that is literally the battle between the top two team in the Western Conference, and it certainly is a showdown between arguably two of the best team in the league. And then you have the Cascadia Derby, which I don't even need to talk about how that is also a big matchup, especially. This might be one of the few Cascadia Derby that might have a heavy playoff implication and maybe be the season for both of these teams. But we start off with the first one, which is Austin versus LAFC, the top two team in the Western Conference square off, as this game will be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Now, I didn't actually put the actual kickoff of the game because on the league website, it said the actual kickoff is the same time as the advertised start time, which I don't believe that is the case. I think the league probably forgot to put the actual kickoff of this match. In fact, I probably should have just looked on the website where it actually put an actual kickoff of the game, and I could have just put it there. But nevertheless, this game is on ESPN, as it is the case for both of these one. Now, in terms of the all-time meeting, it's a free 0-1 favorite in for LAFC in terms of the all-time meeting, but the one win that Austin got was earlier this season. They beat LAFC earlier this season at Bank of California Stadium, and I think they're the only team so far this season to beat LAFC on the road this year. But Austin coming into this game with a 14-6-6 record, while LAFC an 18-3-5 record, and they are still chasing their record in terms of breaking the most point ever in a regular season history. But it's safe to say that after that loss last game against the San Jose Earthquakes, remember the whole talk about if they can reach the 80-point mark? Yeah, they need to be perfect from now on if they want to reach the 80-point mark, and I don't think that's going to be the case. Especially in the last game, you saw Steve Cherundolo kind of decided to maybe do a little bit low management, not just with Gareth Bale and Giorgio Chiellini, but also the whole team itself decided to kind of start a B team in the game against the Quakes, and that did not work out. Now, obviously, I think in this game, he's definitely going to start the A team, but as I said, key points coming into this game, it's the battle between the top two teams in the Western Conference. Though, in terms of points total, it's actually a pretty wide gap. I believe LAFC currently have like an 11-point lead over Austin FC, who is in second place. Yeah, this is 2019 all over again, where we're starting seeing LAFC kind of running away with the Western Conference, and it's pretty much clear that they are going to win the West this year. And now the question is, can they hold down the Philadelphia Union for that Supporters' Shield race? Or if they can, of course, even one up what New England did last year in terms of reaching that 73 points total. Now, the other thing that is the key points coming into this game, expect a lot of goals that could happen between both of these teams. I mean, both of these teams are leading the league in terms of goal scoring, tie at 55 goals apiece, and that, I think when you watch a lot of Austin games this season, especially at home, they have been wide open. They have been crazy. There's been some kind of pinball kind of action we see on the scoreboard, and I expect this could be the same case, because that's what Austin love to do. They like to open themselves up and play an open game, and I'm not quite sure is that going to be the best way to do it, especially when you face against an LAFC team that has such a dynamic attack. But either way, this could also be a preview of the Western Conference final. If both of these teams, of course, would run the table, they, of course, would meet each other in the Western Conference final, and it's going to be interesting to see how both of these teams is going to play the second time, because LAFC want to get some revenge on Austin after Austin, as I said, they remain the only team to be able to solve LAFC when they, of course, play on the road at Bank of California Stadium. But that being said, moving on into the next match is none other than the granddaddy of them all in terms of MLS rivalry, the Cascadia Derby. Now, even though this week they didn't brand this as the Heineken Rivalry Week, there's a couple of rivalries that's going to be happening this week too, and obviously the Cascadia Derby is the biggest one that is coming out of this week. But I think you got to say that, out of most of the Cascadia Derby that we've seen in the past couple of years, this one probably might be the most crucial one in terms of playoff implication, because you have two Cascadia team that is now below the red line, and that, if the season ends, this would be the first time since probably going all the way back to 2009 that we did not see a Cascadia team made it to the MLS playoffs, because both of them are below the red line. The Sounders currently in ninth place, 1 point behind the Galaxy, who was the last team and if the playoffs started today, with a 10-3 and 13 record. Well, the Portland Timbers also 1 point behind, but they're currently 10th because they do play one more game than the Seattle Sounders, and their record is 7, 12, and 8. This game will start at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, but I have a feeling it's probably not going to start around the same time, especially with the way that I'm pretty sure this game will not start unless if this game between Austin and LAFC has happened. And also, anytime when there's doubleheader involving national television, let's just pray that we're not going to get a weather delay in the first game. And I'm pretty sure the weather in Austin is actually going to be good, and there's no thunderstorm that's going to be happening in that area. I mean, just kind of noted what happened in last week when the Columbus and Atlanta game got delayed, and then that second game of the doubleheader got pushed into the Fox Sports app, and then got pushed to FS2, and eventually pushed back to FS1. So let's just hope that that's not going to be the same case here too. Now, in terms of the all-time meeting, and this is only in MLS, the Timbers have an 18-7 and 16 record over the Seattle Sounders. But in terms of all-time record in the Cascadia Derby, this is, I believe, the 135th meeting between both of these Cascadia rivals. The Sounders does have the lead with a 65, 15, and 55 record over the Portland Timbers. Now, the other key points coming into this game, besides there are a lot of playoff implication, is the road team have won 8 out of the last 9 Cascadia Derby. Or actually, I'm sorry, not the last 9. 8 out of the last 10 Cascadia Derby. And there's only been one draw in the past 10 Cascadia Derby. So, in terms of this matchup, there's going to be a winner, and I have a feeling that trend is going to continue because, like I said, both of these teams are desperate in terms of getting 3 points. There's always that saying that I mentioned many times. Whoever wins this Cascadia Derby not only gets some bragging rights, but it can really propel the season. And with both of these teams desperately need that propulsion and need that late resurgence to make it to the playoffs, this is why this game probably means more than ever before. And that, as I said, I feel like and this, I know we still have a ways before decision day happen. Well, I say that, decision day actually is not that far away. It's only like a month and a half, and a lot of teams only have about 5 or 6 games left this season. But I just kind of feel like this could be the season for both of these teams, because if the Timbers does win this game, they can not have to worry about that bad stretch that they of course has had, and that we saw how when they did get that win against the Sounders earlier this season, how much it propelled themselves to get themselves back into the playoff race. Whereas the Seattle Sounders, we also see this happen before, where they win the Cascadia Derby, and it also propelled their season too. So yeah, this is a big game for both of these teams, and that the loser of this game, I have a feeling most likely could be missing the playoffs, and that we'll see who of course is going to get that crucial win, because I just have a feeling maybe with how there's just a jumble mess right now in the playoffs, and especially with both of these teams does have some tough remaining schedule, especially for the Timbers. They have a very tricky schedule to end the season. This could be a case where we might only see one Cascadia team in the playoffs this season instead of the 2 that we usually see every single year. But that being said, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this game, and also the one between Austin versus LAFC. Like I said, these 2 games are so big that they're just simply, I can't just do a preview on a short notice in terms of talking about both of these games. But that being said, tomorrow I will be talking about the Saturday game, and then I think on Saturday I will be talking about the Sunday game. So I'm going to be doing a 3-part preview this week, which is something I don't think I've ever done on this channel before. But hey, there's always a first in terms of everything, and I guess this might be the first match week where I'm going to do kind of like a 3-part preview. But that being said, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of both of these games, and as always, let me know in the comments below your prediction for both of these games too. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.